I'm really excited to make this video today, and hopefully it can help you, because 2 weeks after I moved into my new home, my new community where I didn't know anybody, didn't even know how to get to the grocery store, I was unpacking. My husband was working on his construction, putting in molding and all the fun stuff you do after you move in, and he comes running in the house and he has blood on his mouth and he has blood on his hand and it's wrapped up, and he's like, help me find my finger, help me find my finger. And I was like, what? I was completely mortified. I was just in shock. And so I go running out the door and I'm looking, I'm screaming. The supervisor comes over next door. He was working on the house and he helps me. We find it, wrap it up, throw us in the car, and we drive off. Well, I didn't know where I was going. So I went to an urgent care and I'm like, oh, my husband's finger. And they looked and they said, oh, pretty much hell no. We don't do that here. So we had to get back in the car. I'm driving. I don't know where I'm going. I just put in hospital. I end up at Baptist Emergency, and which is a good 15-minute drive from here. So everything worked out. Everything is kind of working now. But that's my heart, the worst thing that could possibly happen when you don't know where you're going, you don't know what to do, and you have an emergency. If you haven't been to my channel before, welcome to my channel. If you have been, thank you for coming back. I'm Gail DeMarco. I'm your trusted, experienced real estate agent here in St. Johns County. And, hopefully I can share with you a lot of things that I've learned in the last couple of years, because honestly, think about this. When you're moving to a new place, what's the first thing you think about? Oh my gosh, I don't want to leave my hairdresser. No, that too. I don't want to leave my doctor. In my case, I didn't really care because I was with Kaiser and it was more like the DMV over there. But you have your people, right? It's very important. And a lot of people do come to Florida because of the great health care. I mean, without a doubt. I grew up in New York, and I remember a lot of my friends' parents, when they would retire, they would move here. And that was kind of the running joke. They moved down here for the doctors. But guess what? It's not really a joke. It's super true, because I've moved in lots of people just like you, and a lot of them do have either health issues or they have a child with some kind of medical problem, and they come here for better health options and better schools, right? And just a better way of life. And for me, it's an upgrade no matter how you look at it. So, whether you're going to have, you're just looking for, to change, because maybe they don't have the same system that you experience either in New York or Jersey or Colorado or Texas or wherever you're from, and hopefully this video will make your life just a little bit easier. And the video is about all the hospitals here in St. John's and healthcare. So, I'll be giving you a comprehensive guide so you can make an informed decision and choice when you need it the most, not like me. So from personal experience to tips on what each hospital specializes in, I've really kind of gone deep. I've asked all my neighbors, what do you use, where do you go, and what do you think about it? So I narrowed it down to 4. So we'll take a deep dive into the heart of St. Johns County healthcare. So let's get started. We're going to start with Flagler Health, and it's in St. Augustine. And first up, it's the major healthcare providers here in the county. Flagler's been around about 130 years, and they have great pride in themselves for offering advanced healthcare services in like a community-oriented setting, from emergency care to comprehensive cancer treatment. Flagler is a go-to for so many residents, and some of the departments and the facilities within Flagler Health System, such as maternity ward and cardiology, and, they have a cancer center there that people talk about very highly. So if you ever find yourself just needing emergency care, Flagler's emergency department is really highly respected here, and their department is open 24/7, as it should be, right? Because nobody has an emergency from 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. It's very accessible to those living in St. Augustine and the surrounding areas. They have top-notch maternity ward, which is what I've heard is one of the best in the region. So for parents to be, or if you're moving here and you're pregnant, that's kind of a nightmare, right? If your husband's gotten relocated, you don't want to leave your OBGYN. And I have actually 4 ladies on my block got pregnant once they got here, and 2 moved here pregnant. And so 2 of them actually go to Flagler, and they couldn't say enough nice things about it. So, they're really, really supportive and well-equipped, and it just gives you peace of mind, especially when you're having a baby. Now, the next hospital I'm going to talk about is really kind of close to my heart. I've had a lot of experiences. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you a little video in here of what the rooms look like. The rooms are incredible. Unfortunately, I know way too well. I spent over 50 nights in the hospital with my mother in the last 6 months. She's been there a total of 77 as of today, because she went in again 3 days ago. I'm here in October 2024, and she's in there right now as I'm making this video. That's kind of what prompted me to do this. So those rooms are kind of better than any cruise ship I've been on. They even take some of the towels and face cloths and make them into little swans, and they have, just all kinds of supplies and cream and TVs with a remote blind. So they have just so many amenities in your normal hospital room. So let's talk about Baptist South, okay? That's the one I have my personal experience with. It's about 15 minutes. I live here in Rivertown. It's technically in Jacksonville, but it serves many residents of St. Johns County, and they have quite a few locations. Now let's talk about Baptist Medical Center South. It's technically in Jacksonville, but it serves so many residents, in St. Johns County. This hospital is known for the state-of-the-art facilities, top-rated emergency services. Unfortunately, I've had my very fair share of experiences here, particularly with my mom. She's currently here for the seventh time since the end of February. And she spent a total of 77 days as of tonight, because she's actually been admitted again about 3 days ago, right before Hurricane Milton, in October of 2024. And, I'll tell you, each visit has been a testament to their dedication and their exceptional care. My mom's been in and out for various different health issues, and that's why I can tell you, MD Anderson, their partnerships with other professionals, like they have MD Anderson, which is a top-notch cancer center. My mom has colon cancer, and they've taken such great care of her. And also GI, Boylan Grover, she's got a GI tube and other fun stuff that I won't go into. But it's been nothing short of amazing. I mean, their rooms, like even when you're in their room, it looks like you're on a cruise ship, because they have their little towels made like swans, and everything's super clean, and it's very spacious. You could probably fit 4 people in one of those rooms. It was bigger than any one of my bedrooms. The bathrooms are big. Nurses have been amazing. Actually, 2 of my very best friends now are nurses that work at South Baptist, because when you spend over 50-something nights there, you really form relationships. They really love on the patients. They take great care of them. So from the nurses to the doctors to the LVNs, the people that bring in the food, every single person has just a culture of caring. So it's just not easy when you bring a loved one in there. And in the beginning, I would always spend the night, because I was afraid something was going to happen to her, because I was kind of used to the way that the hospital I belonged to for 30 years, Kaiser, treated you, right? I mean, they even bring me warm blankets. That's crazy, right? I know. I get better treatment at the hospital than I actually do at home. My husband's never bought me a warm blanket. But at the end of the day, just knowing that your mom, your dad, your loved one, your child, whoever's in there is in capable hands, just makes just a huge, huge difference. Because, I don't spend the night there anymore, right? Because I know that nothing's going to happen to her. She's going to be in the best of care. And some of their key services, like orthopedic surgery, I've heard huge hip surgery, cardiovascular care, oncology, just everything, every partnership that they've had. And I've had so many conversations, from in elevators to waiting rooms, and, with just so many people, and not one person's like, I got to get my parent out of here, or my child, or this place sucks. Everybody's like raving. Life happens. We get sick. And it's just a great, great feeling to know that when you are in that situation, that you're around a team that's going to be cheerleading and doing everything possible, no matter what it is, to help you get better. Any kind of specialty care, I could probably name off 20, but I won't. But let's talk about the third hospital, okay? And I've heard a lot of great things about Ascension. It's also known as St. Vincent's. And when you think about St. Vincent's, they have a strong, strong relationship in our community throughout Florida, actually. And the St. Johns County is no exception. Ascension is part of one of the largest Catholic nonprofit health systems in the country. So, meaning they don't only provide quality care, but they focus on serving the community in a mission-driven style, which, I'm always about, since that's kind of why I moved here, because I want to be part of a community that really cared and loved on each other. So whether you need orthopedic care or you have a heart or vascular, pediatric, they also have it all under one roof. Their focus is on being compassionate. If I would have talked to some of my neighbors, I may have just gone to Ascension because they're like, oh my gosh, I've got one neighbor who's got a parent in there and they're like, you just can't even believe how wonderful they are. The nurses bring little gifts to her dad, and she's just been really blown away. Many locals trust Ascension because for their health needs, and especially their pediatric center. They're really well known for care, their ICU department for pediatric kids. There's nothing sadder when you have a sick child because they're young, right? You expect that when you have parents or when you're older, but when you have sick kids, that's so hard. So the last one, I kind of saved that for last because this is the one that I really thought I was going to join. And I was like, oh my gosh, the Mayo Clinic. They have the best reputation probably out of many, many hospitals besides UC Davis in California. And so I called them up because I'm lucky. I am a Medicare card carrier. And so I called them up and they had a waiting list. I'm like, a waiting list? What do you mean by that? Well, unless you have a really pronounced problem, something that is chronic, something that they specialize in, you'll be on that waiting list, and it could be up to 2 years. Well, who really wants to wait 2 years to form a relationship, a bond, get all your history dialed in with a new doctor? I didn't want to wait. There was no way that I was going to wait. But the Mayo Clinic, man, and they're kind of remodeling it. I see big cranes. It's going to be incredible. They're not a full hospital, but they do have a primary care location in St. Johns County. And it's such an essential part of our healthcare network here. The Mayo Clinic is synonymous, for their top tier healthcare. Even with the primary care and their facilities, they just reflect the standard of what you think healthcare should be, right? Anything from a routine checkup to managing chronic conditions, which is kind of what they're known for. I have a neighbor who's very dear to me that's been going there for, I think 7 years for a special kind of cancer, and he's had bone marrow transplants, all kinds of interesting things there. And some go well, and just like any hospital, and some don't go so well, right? But they trust their lives. They trust their lives with the Mayo Clinic. It's just an and what they said was the integration that they have with their teledoc, and I think all hospitals have that. Like I could do a teledoc appointment with my doctor. She'd probably prefer it rather than go in. But I personally like to go in person, right? Because it's only so much you could show on the cameras. But they're really well known for that because there are a lot of very sick people that go to Mayo Clinic and they can't always get to the hospital. So supposedly they really excel and they're really well known for that. All kinds of disease management, you name it, anything that you've never heard of, they probably know a whole lot about. I have quite a few clients, unfortunately, that have moved here just to go to the Mayo Clinic, whether they have a sick child or they are sick themselves. I am selling a home right now of a person that came here to get help, and now she's just going to move closer to her children, because they've done what they can do. But she originally came here to go to the Mayo Clinic, and I'll tell you, she said that it's probably prolonged her life a couple of years. So, which brings me down to, let's not forget about the urgent care. Just don't go to the one I went to if you have a finger cut off, because they don't like reattaching limbs. But I love urgent care centers because, usually your insurance will cover it. Like I was going to India last year for a culinary trip, and you always get sick like a couple of days before. So I kind of went in there and over-exaggerated my symptoms. And got a Z-Pack and just got a bunch of stuff because I did not want to get stuck in India without, meds. And they were just great. They do try to over test you for things. Do you want a COVID test? No, I really don't. Do you want this test? Do you want a flu test? But I think I paid, after my insurance covered it, about $60. And, you could pretty much go in there for almost anything, right? If you don't want to go to an emergency room and wait because I took my grandchild in there and she had a bad ear infection visiting me here from New Jersey. So got in quick, got the antibiotics, and she was a happy camper that night. Did you know, I didn't know this, that even CVS and Walgreens has walk-in places where I used to just think it was for shingle shots or flu shots or pick up a prescription, but if you have a problem, they have a doctor there. So that's another option. So there's no reason you should not go to the doctor because we have so many different options here. And it's kind of nice because you don't have to wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks to go see your doctor. And they're ideal for just minor injuries, symptoms, quick medical attention. That's definitely something that I utilize. So I guess it just kind of sums it up. St. Johns County is just full of incredible healthcare options, and just knowing where to go in an emergency or who specializes in what can make all the difference, whether you're dealing with an emergency just like I did or navigating routine healthcare. It's a big decision moving anywhere. But I will tell you, the healthcare system will not disappoint. As a matter of fact, my brother is here from New York and he's spending a little time with my mom down here. And he's like, oh my gosh, he goes, he's never ever experienced the kind of care and attention that my mom's been getting. So he's like, maybe I should move down here. And I go, maybe you shouldn't. I love my brother. I don't know if I love him that much, but I hope this video has helped you. And if you are watching this video and you have any comments or any questions, most of my videos come from questions or comments that people bring to my attention. I'm always available. I talk to people just like you all day long. So please, I'm never too busy to take a call or a text. I'm happy to help you. My phone number is 904-640-8000. Again, 904-640-8000. So stay healthy, and because health is wealth, and God bless you guys.